Hey guys, it's Xander here, and we're back looking at Brews in Standard. Now, this is a deck that a few people have touched on, and I know that it's out there already, but I'm just doing this deck tech. It's a deck I put together. The problem with doing a deck like this is because it's monocolored, it's standard, and it's tribal. A lot of the decks are always going to look the same, but this is a deck I put together. So I'll go over if you know the deck, then you're going to see a whole lot of stuff that's already in other decks that are the same. Or if you don't know the deck, then it's going to be fresh and you're going to be learning something, so it's good. But yeah, so I put this deck together as soon as M19 dropped on X-Mage, and I'm just doing deck tech on it now. I'll just go over the deck, the main deck, and the interactions between some of the cards, and then talk about the sideboard, and hopefully you guys enjoy the video. So we're going to start off with standard at the moment. Zombies with the new Death Baron coming in with M19 which Death Baron is for 3, 1 and 2 black, 2/2 zombie wizard with skeletons you control and other zombies you control. Get +1/+1 and have death touch. This is adding to the already huge number of anthem effects that are in standard at the moment. So we're currently playing, I think it's 16 anthems in this deck, which some people would think is silly, but it works stupid well, and it's like build a board in a box with this deck. It's just crazy. Like they just scale out of control, and you give them all menace, and shit just dies, and it's great. so that's the Death Baron. We're going to run that as a 4 of. We're also running a 4 of Lord of the Accursed, which is for 3, 2 and 1 black. This guy's a 2/3 zombie with other zombies you control, get +1/+1, but it also has a cool ability to go for 1 and 1 black. Tap, all zombies gain menace until end of turn, so they can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures, which is very relevant and awesome in this deck. So we're running that as a 4 of as well. Another 4 of, which a lot of people complain, but it's pretty much the high end of the curve, and it's just a great card. For 5, we're running a 4 of Liliana's Mastery, which is for 3 and 2 black. It's an enchantment that sits on the battlefield, and it reads, zombies you control get +1/+1. So it's an anthem effect. If that was all it was, it'd be shit. But when Liliana's Mastery enters the battlefield, create 2/2 black zombie creature tokens. So you're getting, when it comes into play, you're getting an anthem effect and 6 power on the battlefield. So by the time we play this, we've already got 3-4 zombies on the board, and we're putting another 6 power on the battlefield. It is actually insane. So we're running this as a 4 of. A lot of people will tweak it and be like, okay, I didn't like running it a 4 of because you don't want to draw too many of them into the late game and whatever else. But I'm running it as a 4 of, and it's worked awesomely. I advise you do the same. We're running a 4 of. This is the last of the anthem effects. So just to clarify, anthem is basically across the board. So this is anthem, zombie anthems. Just all the zombies get blood. So Metallic Mimic isn't a zombie, but it is a shapeshifter, which means when it comes into the battlefield, you choose a creature type, and it becomes that creature type in addition to its other types. So it's a 2-cost guy. So for 2, a 2/1, and comes in, you make it a zombie, and then each other creature you control of the chosen type, which is going to be zombie, enters the battlefield with an additional +1 counter. We got a lot of 1-drops in this deck. So we're going to be putting 1-drops onto the battlefield, and they're going to be coming in with +1 counters on them. And yeah, it's a pseudo-anthem for anything that gets played after it, which is great. So we're definitely running this in a 4 of. We're also running a 4 of Graveyard Marshal, which is for 2 black, a 3/2 zombie soldier for 3, exile a creature card from your graveyard, create a tapped 2/2 black zombie creature token. Now, this is relevant so a lot of our zombies, or not a lot of our zombies, a few of our zombies can come back from the graveyard, and we've got a couple of reanimation strats in the deck, but the large majority, once they hit the grave, that's kind of where they're staying. So this is awesome utility just to be able to go, okay, I'm just going to keep getting tokens. Tokens hitting the board, you've got anthems, you've got more zombies, you've got big zombies. It's great. It's a really solid card that's come in with M19. I'm running a single copy of Liliana's Death Majesty, which I love this card. It's for 5, for 3 and 2 black, a 5 loyalty planeswalker, which is insane. And its +1 ability is create a 2/2 black zombie creature token put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard. It's not the greatest, but we do have a little bit of reanimation strat, and zombies is relevant, so it's still good. Its -3 ability is return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. That creature is a black zombie in addition to its other colors and types. So we can bring back whatever we want. Our Death Baron's in the bin, our Lord of the Accursed is in the bin, our whatever. We can just bring it back. And its -7 ability, which is the payoff for why you would keep putting your own stuff in the bin. Like if you're, it's a bit, almost a bit moreish. Win more, because if your board state's good enough that you can protect this thing, you're probably going to be winning anyway, for long enough for it to like 3 turns of it plussing 1. You're probably going to win anyway. But then its -7 ability is destroy all non-zombie creatures, which is insane. 2 turns away, it's great. So definitely running this. I could run more in the main board, but we're just running the 1, just because it is so expensive, and we are running the other Anthem. So her by herself isn't fantastic. Drawing into too many of her wouldn't be a great thing. That's always going to be value, so we want to run that as a 4 of in preference of running too many of these guys. Or this girl. Hitting on the low end of the curve, we got 4 Dread Wanderers, which is for 1, a 2/1. So that's great stats. It enters battlefield tapped, which isn't great, but it's a zombie jackal, which is relevant creature type again. But its ability is for 3, so 2 and 1 black. You return Dread Wanderer from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate this ability only anytime you could cast a sorcery, and only if you have 1 or fewer cards in hand. So this just keeps coming back. You have low hand count, it just keeps coming back. It's a great card. Another low curve creature. For 1, a 2/2, enters battlefield tapped, and it's a zombie. Diagraph Ghoul. It's not like the best, but it's not the worst. A 2/2 for 1 is always going to be good. It coming in tapped is a bit on the shit side, but yeah, by the time we play a couple of Anthems and this is swinging in, it's crazy. Also running a 4 of Fatal Push, because we need removal, and Fatal Push is great. For 1 black, at instant speed, destroy target creature if it has convert mana cost 2 or less, which is 80% of the format. And then Revolt, destroy target creature, which is like 60% of the format. And then when you revolt it, which is destroy target creature, if it has convert mana cost 4 or less, then it bumps it up to about 80% of the format, is 4 cost. Instead, if a permanent you controlled left the battlefield this turn. So if something dies of yours, you're hitting anything 4 cost or lower instead of 2 cost for a 1 cost card. It's insane. It's great. New card that come in with M19 is the new Liliana, and this one is zombie specific. In anything but this deck, it is terrible. But for 4, 2 and 2 black, 4 loyalty, which it's great stats, but its abilities are very specific to zombies. So its +1 is put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard. If at least one of them is a zombie card, each opponent loses 2 and you gain 2. Not the greatest, but still good. Its -2 ability is target creature gets -X until end of turn, where X is the number of zombies you control. This hits indestructible creatures because it's negging, it's not destroy effects. So this is actually really relevant and is really good. Its -3 ability is you may cast zombie cards from your graveyard this turn. So you can do this the turn it comes in. Insane value. You could probably run more of this one. You could probably run another one of this and take out the other Liliana, because this one's so good in zombies. But yeah, I'm running as a 2 of, and it's worked well so far. Great card. We're also running a 2 of Vraska's Contempt, which is for 2 and 2 black. At instant speed, exile target creature or planeswalker, you gain 2 life. It's a great card. This is casual. This is going to hit your Hazarats. This is going to hit get rid of all your Lyra Dawnbringers, all the stuff that you just don't want coming back at all. You want to hit all your Indestructibles, all your stuff that's just too good. This is going straight for that. Because we're playing zombies and I'm playing Cabal Strongholds, which I'll explain later. This is the reason I'm running the Cabals, is because of this card. So Joshua Vess, Lich Knight, which is Liliana's brother, had running. For 4, so 2 and 2 black, a 4/5 zombie knight, legendary creature. It's got Kicker 6, which means as an additional cost you can pay 6 as you play the spell. So if you don't, it's just a 4/5 for 4 with Menace, which is great. It's a great stats. But if you do pay the Kicker, When it enters the battlefield, if the kicker was paid, create 8 2/2 black zombie knight creature tokens with menace. Yep. Insane. So if we ramp into this and play this like relatively close to being on curve, because we can actually ramp pretty hard with the Cabal Strongholds. But yeah, if we get into the again, it's almost like Win Moorish, but Win Moorish doesn't matter if we can just dominate the game, going into like 6th, 7th turn, and just being able to go bang, done. If we've already got a heap of Anthem effects out, this is insane, absolutely insane. It's also gives us the ability to crawl back out of a board wipe, which a lot of the times is a bad thing for us. Settle the Wreckage is a very real card that stuffs out by our Grave Retrieval plan and a lot of that. But this lets us build a board in a box, basically, which is fantastic. If we look at the land base, I'm running, what have we got, 5, 10, 15, 18 Swamps, which is pretty basic. A 2 of Cabal Stronghold, which I will put up here so we can read it. So Cabal Stronghold reads, tap, add 1 colorless, or pay 3 and tap it, and add 1 black for each basic swamp you control. So there's a lot of swamps. This thing can ramp pretty hard, and this is the biggest payoff that we've got so that we can ramp into Vess. Don't want to be running more than 2 of, because 4 of these on the battlefield, if we're only running a couple of things that really need the ramp, it's not really helping us any. So, and it gives us less swamps to actually play. So I'm just running it as a 2 of. I'm also running a 2 of If Near Deadlands, which is a solid card, and it's a land. So tap, add 1 colorless, or tap, pay 1 life to add 1 black. So yeah, your pay 1 life isn't great, but at least we can always get black out of it. And then its last ability is pay 4, so 2 and 2 black, to tap, sacrifice a desert, which this is the only desert, so we're sacking this, to put 2 -1 counters on target creature and opponent controls. Activate this ability only anytime you could cast a sorcery. So this is just going to lower the effectiveness of something or potentially kill something, depending on what you want to do with it. But making if I have both of these out, making Lyra Dawnbringer swinging in for 1 instead of 5 is a whole lot better than having to deal with a Dawnbringer. So it's a great land. I'm only running in a 2 of, again, because we want to be hitting swamps more than we are hitting anything else. But yeah. Looking at the sideboard, you'll see here we're running another 2 copies of Vraska's Contempt, because you've got to be crazy not to be running at least 4 of in a deck, or at least in your 75, because it is so relevant. So I've already explained this card, I won't go over it again, but we're running in a 2 of. We're running a 4 of Duress. This is for the control matchups. So Duress is for 1, target opponent reveals his or her hand, you choose a non-creature, non-land card from it, that player discards that card. At sorcery speed, it's good. For 2, Crook of Condemnation. Now, you'll notice that I'm not running Sentinel Totem. And the reason I'm not running Sentinel Totem is because I don't want to fuck ourselves by removing our own graveyard. So this one is selective removal from the graveyard, which is why we are running it. So this is Crook of Condemnation. For 2, you play it, it's an artifact, and it's got 1 tap, exile target card from a graveyard. That is the relevant thing. So we can go up against graveyard strats and we can dominate their graveyard, which is great. It's also got pay 1, exile Crook of Condemnation, exile all cards from all graveyards. Again, if we haven't got anything in our graveyard that we want, and we want to do that, it works. If it's tapped, we've already exiled a card, and then they do something janky with a Scarab God or whatever, we can just remove the whole graveyard. Move all the graveyards and just, yeah, deal with it. It's also a really good card. I just prefer Sentinel Totem. Lost Legacy in a 2 of. While this is in standard, I'm going to be running it in black sideboards because it is so good, and it just shits on approach decks and other things that rely on like a single win con to really do anything. So Lost Legacy is for 3, 1 and 2 black. At sorcery speed, you name a non-artifact, non-land card, search target player's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of the cards with the same name and exile them. That player shuffles his or her library and draws a card for each card exiled this way from his or her hand. So it's, you name approach, play this name approach of the Second Son, and you just search through the deck and get rid of it. It's gone. or if you're playing against a blue-white control and they're not using approach as the win con, they're just doing the bullshit with Teferi, name Teferi. Get them all out of there. They lose their win con completely. All they can do is try to delay the inevitable. Or if you don't really give a shit about Teferi, but Settle the Wreckage is a very real card, and we hate that card, play Lost Legacy, get rid of all the Settle the Wreckages. It's great. It's a great card. Also running a 4 of Cast Down. Just adding more removal, basically, to if we run up against mono red and it's not doing a fantastic job, you might want to drop stuff that's higher on the curve, like the Liliana's Majesties, and then stick stuff like this in. So Cast Down is for 2, so 1 and 1 black. At instant speed, you destroy target non-legendary creature. It's a good card. Kills a whole lot of stuff. Kills a Lyra. Lyra's not legendary. Kills a lot of stuff. An absolute shitload of stuff. So it's a very relevant card, and at 2 cost at instant speed, it's great. And we're also running a single copy of Liliana Death Majesty in the sideboard in addition to in the main board. So I've already explained this card, so I won't go over it again. But she's great, and people might want to just jank out the deck and be silly and have a couple of copies of it. Anyway, that was the deck. This is Mono Black Zombies. If you like the deck, let me know in the comments. If you didn't like the deck, let me know in the comments. If you think there's cards that I'm missing or cards that shouldn't be in there, again, well, let me know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications so that you get to see the videos when I upload them. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks, guys.